Okay, so someone asked me to do an explanation on how to take down, uh, potentially the top five spots in Clash, first to fifth. And I've broken it down in numbers and also a strategy here that would be effective for it with minimal members. So if we were to create five franchise clubs, clubs A, B, C, D, and E, and if we had 25 members and you put five members in each of those clubs, and throughout the 2 week gap between clashes, they do club goals and they get the super passes. Now, by the end of the second week, Club A would have 30 super passes, just say on average, um, and 52 for the whole tournament because you get two for every round. By the end of that clash, and the next 2 weeks go by, Club B would have 60 and 82 total, and then the next 2 weeks, Club C would have 90, 102. D would have 120, 142. E would have 150 and 172. And then it would reset back to A. And by the time you get back to A, you'll have 150 again and 172. And then when you get to B, the next 2 weeks, they'll also have 150 and 172 in C. And you could do that continuously for an infinite amount of time if you were to stick with the five clubs and continuously do that. So if you had 150 super passes plus the 22 that you get for each round for the 11 rounds, you would have 15.6 super passes per round of the 11 rounds. You could use 15.6. Now let's say you would own the first and 10th spot, total points of, let's say, 5,000 points with all the multipliers, with all of the double points and all that. Let's just say it's 5,000 points for the first to 10th spot. After the 10th spot is done, there's no more multipliers, but you could still use another 5.6 super passes of each round. And let's say you average 174 points for those rounds. That would get you another 1,000 points. And your total points would be 6,000 points with super passes for a round. All right? So 6,000 with all this 150 extra or 172 super passes or 15.6 per round of 11. Then if you look at bonuses, you would the bonuses: sand save, greens and regulation, putt distance, birdie percentage, longest putt, hole out, if you win the round, participation bonus. All of that equals 2,600 points maximum. Now, to be conservative, let's say you win half of them per round, so you win 1,300 points. That means total, with the 6,000 in super pass rounds and the bonuses, you're getting 7,300 points per round. And if you multiply that by 11 rounds, that's giving you 80,300 points total. Now, Penalty Box finished in first, last clash, which they always do, with 360,000 points. Pipster Rising was fifth with 140,000 points. So that means in order to take down first, we would need to come up with 280,000 points in gray passes. To take down fifth, you would need 60,000 points in gray passes. Now let's say the average gray pass score is 80 points. In order to take down fifth, you would need 750 rounds, which would equal 60,000 points. Adding that to the 80,000 points of super passes and bonuses, that would put you right in that fifth place realm. In order to take down first, you would need 3,500 rounds in gray passes for 280,000 points. Again, plus the 80,000 in bonuses and super passes. Now, to break it down, that means you would have to come up with 68 rounds of gray passes per 100 rounds for 5th, or 318 rounds of the 11 rounds for 1st per round. If you had 25 players and they did 30 rounds total for the entire clash of gray passes for all 11 rounds, so they're 30 rounds total, 5th is possible. If you had 25 players doing 140 rounds total for the entire clash event, you would take down 1st. And that's highly probably not possible. But if you wanted to find the middle ground and you wanted to take down 3rd, which you would need, maybe 200,000 points, you would need to do 1,500 rounds to get the extra 100, to get the 120,000 points, 136 rounds for each round of the 11, or 25 players doing 60 rounds for the entire clash event, which is possible. It's just a lot of rounds. So as I'm looking at this and I've broken this down, the numbers are not in the super pass. The points, the majority of the points are in the gray passes. You have to log the ranked rounds in gray passes to come up with the extra 60 to 280,000 points to break into the top 5. And that equates to a lot of rounds being played. So having the extra super passes helps, which I've gone through here. Gets you points right off the bat. But the actual value and where the most points come in is in the gray passes. And that's kind of the math that I've worked out with how to take down the top 5 spots. Any questions, feel free to reach out. I hope I explained this in better detail.